Hey guys. Hey.
Our very first podcast.
Ow.
But it's okay because in some African cultures, they don't name the baby till like a week later. So we're going to do like a naming ceremony one day.
Okay. So, all right. So, you guys, this is our first video, like Julie said, and we don't have a name. So, but we're gonna have a name by the time they see the YouTube title to this video. So we're gonna do that. But hey guys, it's your girl MJ, aka Margina Jose. And yeah, so we're here doing our first video. And I'm lucky enough to do this with my co-setter. And I'm gonna let her introduce herself. And yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Julissa, aka Julie, aka Isa, whatever it is that you guys want to call me. I'm happy as well. We love to talk. Every time we get on the phone, it's always a good conversation. So he was like, you know what? Why not turn it to like a freaking podcast? So, what do you do, Faith? Let the people know.
Right now, I focus on plus size clothing, lifestyle, and I provide content that just focuses on Black women. I'm actually trying to get into the whole herbal aspect of things, but for the most part, I'm just known as like plus size clothing and supporting plus size, anything plus size. So.
Plus size. Well, I'm an educator. Aside of what I do on Instagram, I'm also an influencer. I'm so happy to say that. Like, I'm almost there, but we getting there. So yeah, I also have a YouTube channel, and I also have a company called For the Culture for My People.
Okay. And guys, all the information is going to be down below in the information box if you want to follow our Instagram and to follow Julie's businesses and stuff like that. Everything will be down below in the description. So, yeah. So, to start off our conversation, by the way, before we get into that, Julie, how has your week been? Like, what's been going on this week? Has anything new happened?
God. Listen, between quarantine and just not having a job, I'm overwhelmed. I can't lie, but you really can't see it because I've been hiding it very well. But this week I've been looking for work because where I work, they cut us out like we're freaking trash. So I don't know, it's been hard, but nonetheless I've been meditating, working out. So I've been good for the most part besides all of that. How about you? How was your week?
Right now, I can honestly say my week has been pretty smooth. Like, besides work and doing my 9 to 5 per usual, I've just been kind of the same. During this quarantine, I have been kind of meditating more. So I've been focusing on just like meditation and just kind of just being one with myself. I've been alone, as many of us have been during quarantine. So with being by myself, I find myself kind of just connecting with the outside world, nature. Like, I'm doing more things that connect with myself. So just being by myself, honestly, I've been just focused on just working on me. So I feel really good. I honestly feel so zen. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I just feel calm. Like,
that's the best feeling.
It is. It's a really good feeling. It is.
Like people don't know how to get there, especially with this time right now. It's a really trying time. So feeling like that is a blessing.
It is. Like, what are some ways that you've been staying calm during all this time in quarantine?
You said what?
How have you been staying calm during because we just finished this whole election. We know who our president is. Woo, we finally know who our president is. So how did you stay calm during that time and after this election? Did you vote, by the way?
Of course. Don't judge me. This is my first time voting ever in life.
I'm not going to judge you because I feel like everybody jumps into the whole political party when it's finally something to do with them.
Right. But I feel bad because I never voted for Obama.
You didn't vote?
So
Not
I'm like,
even, neither times. Nobody, no, okay. All right. No judgment. I'm still not judging.
yeah, I get
So, so what made you vote this time then?
we trying to get Trump out of office.
Oh, so Trump was the final straw. You was like, that's it.
I mean, Biden is no better, but we had to get rid of Trump. We had to get rid of
No,
him.
we really did. We really had to get rid of Trump. Like, Trump was ruffling too many feathers. You know, it's real when a white person get another white person mad. So it's like people are tired.
So that debate had me dying. Both debates, I was just like, what are y'all even saying? Like, what are y'all even talking about? Because Trump is like the woman that you don't even want to deal with. And Biden is the guy that's just like stumbling over his words, not knowing what to say, and just getting mad. And it was too much. But you asked, how did I stay like calm and stuff during quarantine? I was meditating, honestly, and working out. I think working out has definitely did it for me around quarantine time. I hired a trainer, so that was that was like the pivotal moment for me.
Nice. So you've been kind of just staying healthy and fit during this whole time. Okay, that makes sense.
How about you?
Honestly, the same thing. I've just been kind of, well, I was starting out the fitness thing and then I kind of got sidetracked, but that's because I didn't have a plan. I don't have a solid plan. And I've learned through like dieting and working out is like you have to have a good diet to work out. So I'm learning that. And so honestly, this is very new to me to even look at like the nutritional facts behind my food. That's new for me. Like I never did no stuff like that. I've always just been a consumer, just eat, and then I always had like the misleading perceptions of food. So for me, it's like just even caring is a step for me. That's why I see why people say it literally is like a journey, because
you know what too, like working out is a mindset thing. Like you really gotta strengthen your mind in order to really work out, because if you really think about it, what's the first thing you do when you go work out, or before you work out? You have to think about it, like, damn, do I want to work out today? Do I really want to do this? Do I really want to get up and put on workout clothes to go to the gym? Like once you strengthen up your mind and you're like, you know what, I could do this, and it just becomes without a question. That's how you know you strengthen everything, and it's just a whole mindset thing. So you really gotta stay consistent and be motivated, really.
And that's true. It's true with that. True with that. My bad. I'm trying to like fix something, guys. Like I said, it's gonna be a little hiccup, but we learn it. But it's true when it comes to like working, girl. Let me pause. Okay, so that's good. I'm happy that we were able to kind of, so we have some similarities. I think a lot of people have been getting kind of like healthier and more health conscious though during this time. So
definitely,
that's it.
And then you have some people that gain weight, that gain that quarantine weight, like
quarantine babies have been made.
Sis, yo, one of my friends is one of them. Like, what you gonna use, Quarantino or something?
And it's true. I have a cousin. I have family who's pregnant right now, and I could just be like, dang, okay, quarantine. We all know when all the babies start popping out in May or June, like they were made
during quarantine. Yeah, during quarantine, because quarantine started in March. So
pretty much. Yeah. So that's, oh my God, that is so funny. So in quarantine, have you been dating or anything like that? Like, what's up? Like, what's been going on? How is love in quarantine?
Trash as hell.
Oh wow.
Trash as fuck.
Wow.
I hate it. I mean, I was still doing me. I mean, you could read between the lines. But yeah, dating during quarantine was kind of hard because obviously you had nowhere to go, and then when you did have places to go, it was like there was nobody that interests me. So yeah, no, I mean,
So do you think you can still date in quarantine? Do you think it's like
oh
practical?
yeah, oh yeah,
Okay.
because I just feel like nothing has changed with dating like before and now.
Oh, really?
Like
Okay.
for me, because I'm still living like it's so unfortunate, but I'm still living like the square life where I feel like I'm not really meeting people the way that I was meeting people before. Like if I was to go to a bar or someplace, but I will say that I feel like I'm gonna find my person at the gym.
Why the gym? What's going on at the
Because
gym?
I'm around more guys and I work out by myself and I'm always asking guys like, oh, how do you use this machine? Can you spot me? Like it's weird. So I don't know. I just feel like I'm gonna end up either meeting my guy at the gym or while I'm driving. Yeah, because every time I'm driving, I'm like, and I look into a car, I'm like, oh, like yo, and then yeah, I just. But yeah, like I don't think anything has changed only because I barely talk to people when I'm out. I only go to work. So it's like, and then nobody really hits up my DM. Like my DMs are dry. And then when people are hitting up my DM, they're trash. So it's like, why? Like I sent you photos and I'm like,
So nobody can jump in your DM and holla at you? Like,
they
is there nobody?
DM you, but you gotta look some type of way. Like you gotta fit.
The outside?
Like you gotta fit me. Like
What
we gotta
happens?
match
What happens
up.
if your man acts like you, or he is compatible to you, but he just don't take good pictures?
He doesn't take good pictures.
So what happens if you meet? Am I breaking up?
No.
Oh, what happens if this guy is compatible, but he just doesn't take good pictures?
I mean, like
You're not giving him a chance. So he has to take good pictures. Is the minimum criteria?
I mean, I don't care if he like. What do you mean, like literally take good pictures?
Literally, he takes quality pictures. Yeah, like he's taking pictures. Like
I don't.
because guys have a tendency of having bad angles. Guys are not known for their amazing. You
To
know.
ask my man to do all of that, like, no, I don't need my man taking my pictures. I'm good on that.
Okay, so you
No.
don't care if your man is.
But how has quarantine dating been for Faith?
Oh, well, I could honestly say it's been interesting. Like since I moved to Atlanta, I've been meeting a lot of guys online. So I do a lot of online interactions and I like it. Like I feel like I have a lot of discussions with them. I'm always talking to guys. Like I think it's more therapeutic than anything because I think a lot of people are by themselves and they kind of want someone to talk to. So I feel like we're all kind of in this space of just being like, all right, even if we're not compatible, like you're my man and stuff like that, it's like we're still talking because we need to talk.
Right.
So I'm actually meeting guys who are like, I met a dude who's like a producer. I met another guy who's an engineer. I actually met this guy who's a divorcee. Like, I'm just meeting random dudes and I'm just literally having talks with them. Like, I'll FaceTime them and we'll talk. One of them, he calls me and he's like, hey, I just want to know if you can talk. So it's a weird dynamic that I'm having, but it's interesting. I like it because it's like, it's kind of giving me a chance to know people outside of just the typical form of date. Yeah, because I feel like this is a conversation we're gonna have anyways when we meet each other. So if we could kind of do it on FaceTime and ask the questions we want to ask, I don't know. I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying that.
Like, date not
It's not dating, but it's I guess getting to know people.
yeah. That's dating.
Right.
That's technically right because that's the first stage of dating.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think Instagram is my dating app.
Mm.
Sometimes I shoot my shot, but the last 2 times that I tried, it failed, and I was just like, I'm not shooting my shot again, because if it's a third time that
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah. There's definitely Instagram etiquette, like things that
right,
you do. You don't just like go, because then you're gonna be the guys in your DM.
right, right. And what, and like for real, like what if they look at me the way I'm looking at the guys that's in my DM?
Right, thirsty. They're like, yo, shorty, I just told you. How many times you gonna say good morning?
Like, damn, like, come on, I'm just trying to get to know you
Bags, bags. That's okay. Okay, so we're obviously using social media.
as a dating platform. Hell yes.
Yeah, you gotta use social media.
Yo,
Like,
have you seen how it started to how it's going?
no.
You haven't seen the relationship ones?
Oh, no, no. Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness, yo, it's so cute because you see how like literally how they started off in the DMs and how it's like 5 years, 6 years later they're still in a relationship with kids, like celebrities. For instance, like Sweetie and Quavo. I'm like, who else? It's a few people, but honestly, I'm like, dang, yo, like, I need my man to DM me, but then again, I'm one of those type of people that I'm very reluctant to answering people's DMs, because I'm like, first thing I'm doing is looking at your comments. I'm looking at your pictures, your comments, and like how you responded to people, how you speak, if you have videos, how's your teeth. Like, I'm very judgmental. I think that's my problem, and
Mm.
I think that's why I'm single.
This is why. So your criteria does kind of fall into how are you looking on Instagram. You're not saying it, but you're really doing it. You're kind of basing IG off of am I going? But it makes sense because we're all doing it.
Right.
We all are. Because on Hinge, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not gonna swipe or I'm not gonna press a like or anything like that if you're not something that I find compatible. Like if you're over here talking about like there's this thing, I don't know why on Hinge it is, where these guys be like, I'm super sarcastic, so if you can't take a dark sense of humor, don't speak to me. And I'm like, okay, I won't speak to you. Like, I'm thinking that's way too much. Like, I feel like it's like a little off-putting, too much emotions, like too much. So I'm just like, yeah. So let me ask you this. So when you are seeking some potentials, or when potentials are seeking you, however it goes, are there guys that you might be like, this is kind of out of my league? Do you think like just looking off of their IG, do you think some guys are just out of your league?
I don't think they're out of my league per se. I look at it like more like I gotta get my shit together. But
Mm,
I don't think they're out of my league, because I know that I'm there, but let me
not
just
big.
get my shit together so
Mhm.
that I could be on the same level as you. Because for instance, there's people that like I see in relationships where they buy each other expensive shit like Balenciagas, everything, right?
Yeah.
Now, if
So,
I was in
Birkin bag movement.
right, Birkin, right.
Birkin bag.
So if I was to enter a relationship like that, like with a person that's like into shit like that, it's like, you're not out of my league, but I could get there, but I'm not there yet. So
Mm,
let me just work on myself first financially, and then I'll be
mhm,
there.
mhm.
But yeah, no. You
Yeah.
think you think that's like the same?
I honestly, I mean, I will be honest. There's some guys on Instagram that I'm like, whoo, this person, they seem a little out of reach. I don't know where we would be compatible at,
Like who? Like who exactly?
Um, well,
Not who, but what type of guys?
what type of guys? Okay, well, guys who are like really into sports. Like, I mean, other than like, I mean, I don't think like an NBA player is like, obviously I don't think they're gonna care if I'm into NBA, but I mean I just think to myself like, all right, if you're someone who plays basketball, or you're just someone who's like even like a college athlete or post, whatever you do, I just kind of like think of like super athletic men as like, I don't know if I would have some interest with them, because I don't really watch sports. And if I know like your whole page is kind of dedicated off you playing sports and stuff like that, that might throw me off. Because like for for me, like, I'm from Florida, so, you know, it's easy to see, like, these young guys who play, like, football for, like, these colleges, like, FAMU and all these little things like that. And, you know, even if they're, like, local, you know, they're not famous, but they're, like, locals, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, like, I wouldn't know how to really approach that situation, because in my head, I'm like, I don't play sports. I really wouldn't. I mean, I'm pretty sure they are a person outside of sports, but for me, it's just like I wouldn't really know how to, you know, like I guess off of the face of Instagram, it's like, what would you say other than like if he was to think you're attractive? I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
I don't think that's him being out of your league though.
Okay.
I think that's just you not knowing and not being interested in the sport. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I guess.
Okay, go ahead.
When I think more like being out of his league, I think more like he's making 6 figures while I'm still making like 4 type thing. That's how I see it. Like, oh, okay, like he's a whole doctor, but I'm still working retail. Like that's to me like, oh, he's out of my league. Because it's funny because one of my friends, she had said something like that. She was like, oh, I don't know. I feel like he's not interested in girls like me. That's also saying like, yo, I'm not in his league. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, you shouldn't think like that, because then you putting your self-worth down type thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I was like, oh, I'm not there yet. Because I can get there type thing.
I like that you said that, and I like that you pointed that out, because it is kind of like how we perceive ourselves and how the world perceives us, and then really what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, it's good that you said it, because I never would have thought about it like that. I just always thought out of my league is like, okay, well, we don't have interests that are but well, yeah, and it's really not like that. I guess I don't know why I thought like that. Maybe, and I will be honest, maybe because it's like the whole fitness aspect of it, and I'm like, oh, well, you know, that's not what I do. I don't do all that.
That's just you not having the same interest.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. So it's fair to say that social media is giving us.
Social media is a devil.
It's a devil, but we out here using it all day, every day.
It's a devil. It's toxic. Okay. Toxic. It's the most toxic platform ever.
Keep us connected, and we have to, and we're I think social media isn't the devil. It's the devils that are on social media. The devil is on social media, because we're not the devil. Like, I don't think we're doing nothing other, you know, but it's because what you use social media for. It's what you use social media for.
So I read this thing, right, online, and it says,
oh, hold on.
Okay, so it says, you can be soulmates and still not be ready for each other. So how do you feel about that statement?
Now we dipping into some stuff. We dipping.
All right, first, let's hear what's your definition of a soulmate before we even get into that.
Okay. Honestly, my definition of a soulmate is someone that is connected, obviously, on a deeper level of just intimacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's beyond the physical. Like, I think a soulmate could be even someone that you didn't even imagine. Like, you just couldn't believe, like, this is someone I'm connected to. Like, my life partner. And not even only my life partner, because, again, we may not be, but like, there's some people that I feel like are just naturally more connected than others. Just like, you know. So I think a soulmate is honestly someone who connects to you on a spiritual, deeper level. And yeah, I definitely think that, like, that's my definition.
I agree. I'm same, mentally, physically, emotionally, like all of that. So now that we got that out the way, so you can be soulmates and still not be ready for each other.
So this is a little complicated. Well, it's not really complicated for me. I don't think it's a complicated conversation. I don't know if I've actually ever met my soulmate. I've met people that I feel like there's obviously a stronger connection spiritually, like we're more, you know, in touch. But I can see that being a thing. I can see that being a real issue, or not issue, but just something that happens, because there's people who really don't end up being with each other. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And it could be from like you guys are just can't be with each other at the moment because y'all are in separate relationships, or it's the fact that y'all are too toxic together and y'all just can't be. You know, because usually it's like if you have a soulmate and you're not with them, that might mean that y'all probably shouldn't be together. Because why wouldn't you, unless you know things happen, you know what I'm saying? Or let's just be real, like things, you know, this person could have passed away, now you're no longer, you have your soulmate. So it could be so many things. Like
Sheesh.
I'm saying it's a real thing. Like
It is.
you could things happen and you don't have your soulmate anymore. And then what? What about you? What did you think when you saw that tweet?
You can be soulmates and still not be ready for each other. So my sister sent this to me.
Okay.
Well, she actually read it to me, and I was like, "Yo," I said, "That's true. Like, it really is true because, like, people's situations are obviously different, right? Like, you know that this person is for you, you love this person, all of that, but y'all probably not mentally ready for each other. Y'all probably not financially ready for each other. So I agree. Like, it doesn't. The statement doesn't necessarily mean that you guys are not meant to be. It just means that y'all not ready for each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be like, for example, I sent you a couple on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and he was he met his girlfriend. I think they were both like 14, and he always loved this girl from the moment it was like love at first sight. He loved her. He knew that this girl was gonna be his, but he was like, she wasn't interested in him at the time. She was like, no, you're my friend, da da da. So he went off to college. He came here to the States, went off to college, and they were both in separate relationships, but he was still thinking about this girl,
Mm-hmm.
still thinking about her, still like, oh my God, like I love this girl, like, whatever. So he came back, he finished college, he came back, and then he reconciled with her and still had the same feelings from this girl from like what he had 6 or 7 years ago. And it's like, off the bat that that's your soulmate, but they weren't spiritually meant for each other just yet. So then when the time was right, they was like, you know what? Let's make this shit work. And then now they've been together for 5 years. I think that's beautiful. I'm like, because he knew all along that this girl was going to be his.
You gotta make that shit work. You gotta make it work.
So it's such a beautiful, I love hearing love stories like that, because it's like,
like I had saw this post where this girl said that she met her husband on Uber. She was his Uber driver, and then they exchanged it. They had their phone numbers exchanged, and after that they started going on dates. And now it's her full blown husband. And I know that sounds like really just random, but like I think sometimes those connections are so strong. It's like that this is not anything to be in question of, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because I think you and your natural soulmate is just gonna connect, you know. Let me ask you though, do you think you can have more than one soulmate? Like, do you think it stops with just? Do you think a soulmate is only one person, or?
That's hard. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you can have more than one soulmate. I think soulmates can last up to a certain time. Depends, like if a person obviously dies. Like when I think of what the question that you just asked me, I think of Lauren London. Because her soulmate was Nipsey.
Her soulmate was
like her soulmate was Nip. And I'm like, God is not done with her, because obviously she's gonna get married again.
Y'all, as a disclaimer, if you don't know, Julie is in love with Nipsey. Like, she is in love with him, okay? So when she talks about Lauren, it's a little bit of her that's in that conversation too. So she seems passionate because she is. I just want to put that FYI.
Thank you. Thank you, because they need to know.
They need to know. That is your boo, for real. Like, that was your...
I love Nipsey from way before, way back. But yeah, so yeah, I think of that situation. I'm just like, Lauren London is still young. She's like, what, 30, 36, I think.
Okay,
And
I don't know
I'm
how.
like, yo, God is not done with her. Like, her love life doesn't end because he died. No.
Right. And I'm
Like,
pretty sure a man like Nipsey wants to just see her happy at the end of the day.
yeah,
That's not like you, I'm gone, so now you stop living. It's like, no, you continue to live.
right.
It's
So
harder, but you
I
know,
think you can have more than one soulmate.
I
That's
think so. And I think too, even just I don't want to get too deep into it, but like even if you do meet somebody who's your soulmate, I think and something happens, the person that you who isn't your soulmate, right? Your next relationship, whoever you're with, I think they'll know that you actually might love somebody else, but they know they love you and you love them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's like it's beyond just like, okay, me and you have a connection, but like, no, this me and this person was really spiritually inclined. Like me and this person was really like
have you felt like you met your soulmate?
as I said before, I don't think I've met my soulmate. No. Mm-mm.
I don't think I have either. I've
Yeah.
been in love.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think I met my soulmate. What? What happened?
No, you said I've been. You said you've been in love, and I just had to sip. Like,
Nah.
what's love? I don't know.
My first love, it was like something different. I have never felt a love like that. Obviously, because it's my first love, but after that, I have never loved anybody the way that I loved him. Like the first couple of months or year, yeah. But I think he did some voodoo shit on me. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh my god.
I'm serious because when we broke up, he was like, you're never gonna find a love like mine. You only have one soulmate. You only have one true love in life, and that love is me. And you know, ever since then, I ain't never loved nobody like how I loved him.
So you think he put some juju, some type of okay? He messed with us something.
He probably did. And God, please forgive me for what I'm saying.
Oh,
Lord.
ah.
Cause I'm like, why? Like, even though I know my man is somewhere there, but it's
Taking time. It is taking time. Like I'm really out here just like okay. But I'm starting to become a little bit more patient, honestly. I definitely think I'm starting to feel more patient. I don't feel like the need to kind of like jump up and have a man because now I feel kind of like, ooh, I'm a little bit more selective. You know, there's options out here, and I'm enjoying the options.
Yo, it's fun. It's really fun when you date more than one person. And a lot of people are like, oh no, like you don't date more. I mean, to each his own, right?
Right.
But it's fun.
It's fun. I think we're supposed to date. We're supposed to have fun. As long as again, fun is different for everybody. I don't think your fun has to look like my fun. Whatever your fun is between you and that person and God, that is it. And I feel like you're allowed to enjoy yourself and see what's out there and see where you kind of want to just, you know, lay your eggs if you want to. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is the best time to do it anyways because I'm not committed, I'm not lying. And any man I talk to, I'm very honest with. So he knows and I know, and that's how we roll. So that's just how it is. Like
men have this thing where they're like they just want a woman all to themselves just to try to feed their ego, and it's like, no, sir. Like, I'm gonna do me just like how you doing you, and that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna be fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry. It just means that I'm gonna do me. Like, I'm gonna get to know other people because that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm not tied down to you unless you say, hey, I want to exclusively date you. Right. Then that's different. But if we don't come to that terms, then I'm gonna be doing exactly what I'm gonna be doing, and I'm gonna make that known. Like, let me tell you. So I've been in situations where I have asked my guys, I've asked my guys,
Julie, just be very careful, please. Okay, we are not here to offend any man that we're with or dealing with. Don't sabotage your love right now to pull it off.
Oh, no. Nah. But I've asked my guys like, oh, like, let me know what it is that we're doing, so that way I can act accordingly. And I think that's one of the things that we need to be asking. What we need to be asking all our guys, like, what are we doing? Like, when do you feel like it's the right time to ask the person that you're dating, what are we doing? What are we doing here exactly? Like, after how long?
I don't think it's a personal time period, because remember, there's some situationships, there's some whatever that could drag for months. You know the guy who pops in once a month and then he'd be like, yo, we messed with each other for 3 months. No, we haven't, sir. We just been seeing.
But what if it's somebody that you really
that's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to break down. Like, it just depends on that, your real relationship with that person. But I feel like if it's a relationship that you have to ask, like, hey, where are we? That person who's supposed to, I think a guy who's really serious about you is going to answer it, and it's not going to be I think he's going to be very open to tell you, like, hey, I think we're still friends. 9 times out of 10, and this is my experience, 9 times out of 10, not all my experience, I could say maybe like 75% of my situations or whatever relationship, guys have told me that they kind of told me what it is, and it was either I paid attention or I didn't. So guys kind of gave me a cue, like, hey, I think we should just be friends. And I was like, okay, thinking nothing of it. And then 2 months later, I'm like, so where are we? And they're like, I thought we were friends. And it was me who couldn't process, oh my God, like, he told me what it was. I didn't take heed to it. And I thought it was going to be more just because of, we're
situation like that.
Yeah, so I think for me, it's I don't think it's a time period of when I think honestly it's fair enough to say I'll say maybe in a month. I think it's fair to ask a guy, like, hey, where do you see? I mean, maybe even 2 months, and if you want to give a 90-day period, that's fine. But I think maybe something in that early 3-month stage, you're allowed to ask somebody, hey, where do you see us? I think 3 months for me, honestly. I think 3 months is a good time to be like, hey, where do you kind of see us going?
I agree with the time period. And then I honestly think that you can hear and listen to a person and what they want, right off bat. Like, the conversations that you have with them, they're going to tell you exactly what it is that they want. You just got to really listen
and pay attention to it.
That's all it really is.
Yeah.
That's all it really is. Because this one guy, he was like, oh, we're going with the flow. You see, at one point, I remember telling you this too. At one point, I was like, yeah, go with the flow. Why not? But as I got older, and while I'm in this healing, transition, which we will have in a different episode, but he was like, yeah, we should just go with the flow. And I'm just like, no. The ocean goes with the flow.
She said the ocean. Go to the Atlantic Ocean. Go to the Pacific Ocean if you want, like, a flow. Okay.
The ocean goes with the flow because it has no real direction. So, when I said that to him, I'm like, yo, I'm spitting some shit. I'm like, damn. But
next guy.
Exactly. So yeah, so I'm like, what are we doing here? He's like, oh yeah, we're just going with the flow, and I'm like, no. So, and when I told him that, I'm like, I'm not a little ass girl anymore. Like, I'm almost in my 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
don't make it sound old. Like, that's nothing. 30s is whatever. You get old. Listen, you're as young as your spine, okay? So however your spine feels is how old you are. My spine feels a little rusty, but anyways, go ahead.
But yeah, so I'm like, I'm getting older, so it's like, I'm not about to sit here and go with the flow with shit anymore. Like, no, it's dead. That's dead for me. So we gotta either know what we're doing. If we're either in it or we're not. So, actually, we're talking right now.
Are y'all talking? And the end.
Like, you gotta know where you're going with shit, because if not, like, what y'all doing?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've
Okay.
been in my I've done my like player duty where I do the whole go with the flow energy, but it's because I didn't really want to put
Commit.
a commit. I didn't want to commit, and so for me, it's like it would be easier to just say, hey, like let's enjoy the moment versus let's end things, because like you don't. For me, it's like I've been in situations where it's like I don't want to sleep with you, but I don't want to be with you. I just enjoy the company of you.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of guys will be like, oh, you just teasing, or oh, you just playing around, or whatever. But I feel like it's fair game. Like you want you want whatever you want. I'm not saying that I'm here for or I'm not here for. I'm saying I'm taking what I want from this situation. And listen, accompany me. We go places, we go out, we enjoy each other's company. That's what's favoring me. I want to enjoy myself. I want to go out. I want to have a good time. And I feel like, again, dating is about getting to know each other. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if I even I feel like for me, how I date is like, if right now, if I get like an inclination that you really press to like have sex with me, I will remove myself. Like the moment I start to feel pressed, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go, because I feel like you're getting antsy, and I don't want to be the person that you trying to jump on, and I can't even trust you in the back room or whatever energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause guys be acting pressed sometimes, and it's like, but luckily enough, I mean, again, I've been just like talking and getting to know people. So for me, it's like, if you know they already know. Most of the guys I deal with most already know, like, you're not gonna press me for something that's mine. You know what I'm saying? If I want to give it to you, it's better that I want to give it to you. And don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here acting like I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? I like everything just as much as the next man does, you know what I'm saying? But he knows that it's a certain way, because a lot of times guys be telling me, yo, I don't want to put that pressure on you because I want it a certain way. I want you to come to me. I want you to feel, you know what I'm saying? Because I deal with guys who are not like, I'm gonna take your shit. Like, they're not like that. They're like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to know you. I'm trying to butter your pan. And I'm like, cool, butter my pan. Like, you gotta butter it. Like, you can't just be out here trying to put, meat on a hot pan. Like, you know, you gotta saute, you gotta put that butter, that herbs, like,
Hello. Like,
hello. No need to rush. Like, don't get me wrong. I get there's always a time frame, but we're not rushing. Like, when we get into that moment, we get into the moment. Period. Like, it could be a year from now, a month from now, it's whatever. And if it's not, and I really feel like if a guy wants to leave and he's like, yo, like, I'm feeling, because I honestly, I talk to guys and it's just like they're not willing to wait, and I'm like, all right, cool, like, I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh my God, I not dated because I didn't really date him,
mm-hmm.
but he had my number. You know the guy,
Yeah.
and
We
he
gotta have names for these guys.
let's call him Charles.
Charles, okay.
But Charles was pressed on the pussy.
Oh,
I was like, bro, I haven't. No, like we haven't even been on a date. We're like
yeah.
still getting to know each other. First of all, we didn't even get to that stage of getting to know each other. So it was like, he's like, why don't you want to do it? I don't want to stand. Like, why? I'm just like, why are you so pressed,
Yeah.
sir?
Press, press,
And
press.
that turns a woman off. Like, it's like, no, like,
No. The moment we feel pressured, it's like, that's it. Like, all right. Because it's
bye.
gonna come off like
Like,
I'm forceful to do something. Like, it feels forced. Like,
yeah,
now I'm looking at you like, okay. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. Like, now I have to have some type of connection with you in order
oh,
for
all day.
in
All
order
day.
for this to
Everything
be
is about connection.
oh yeah.
Everything
I,
is about the connection.
right. I gotta have a deep connection with you. If not, everything won't flow right.
Mm,
Literally.
mm. Boom, 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 boom. Facts. So I think that was like, I think we had some really good keynotes for this video. I think it was really good. I like that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We had some keynotes. I really like that question off of the Twitter. I think, we knocked that out pretty well. So we could be in agreement that, you could be with your man and girl, or your soulmate.
The soulmate is probably somebody you already met.
Yeah. So you can have a soulmate and really not end up with them. That's a part of life, you know. I guess that's the bittersweet part of everything, right? It's not here to last, but it's here for a moment and you enjoy it. So yeah, if you have a soulmate out there, ladies, make sure you know you enjoy that moment with them. If you even think about your soulmate and you're with a whole nother man, then you need to realize, or you need to come to terms, do you really want to be with him, or can you live without your soulmate? You know what I'm saying? So ladies, if you have that, let us know. Like, we want to know, do you have a soulmate? Do you believe in soulmate?
I do.
So.
I'm waiting on him.
All right, guys. So we're gonna close out our first girl chat, and of course, all the information is gonna be down below. If you guys are interested in anything that we're doing, we have our Instagram down below, all our information, and we'll see you guys next time. Of course, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you guys think about this video, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.